Hey everyone, I just wanted to quickly provide an update to my previous video. So someone in the comments said that they saw like an AP Kog'Maw rush Ludens first, and in the previous video I tested that and it didn't seem as good until you read the item, and my test would basically penalize Ludens because if you spam all of your abilities at once, your shock charges are actually doing less because Ludens seems to penalize you for trying to do burst damage with it by making it so each remaining shot does 35% damage instead of full damage. So after your first shock charge, the next three will do the same amount as the first one. Um, so if we redo the test comparing the two items, but instead we wait for one charge to come back up before each of the abilities, then we'll find that actually Ludens might be a little bit better. So let me try that for you. So this dummy has 1600 HP and about 50 MR, which is about what you would have at your first item. So if I try this, so if I E, and we're waiting for the charge, and we have to auto attack, Q, auto attack, ulti, auto attack. So we did about 1031. And so if we compare that to Malignance, where you go something like E, auto attack, Q, auto attack, ulti, auto attack, you actually see that Ludens does a little bit more damage, and it won't be as punishing when you miss your ultimate as it is with Malignance. So actually Ludens is probably the better first item on AP Kog'Maw. Okay, so now you might be wondering what the optimal second item might be. So let's try Man Immune first, because that's what it was in for the past like 5 years. So let's try the same combo. So you go E, auto attack, Q, auto attack, ulti. Okay, so that did about 1800 damage. So now let's compare that to something like Shadow Flame, which one of the comments mentioned. Attack, ulti, auto attack. So that did 1672. So that actually did 120 less damage than Man Immune. So I think Man Immune will remain the most optimal second item. Technically it would be the most optimal first item, but you typically don't stack it fast enough to get it as a first item, and Ludens seems pretty good. So yeah, see you in game when I try to test some of this. Hey everyone, unfortunately I kind of messed up this recording, but I wanted to show off like a gameplay against Fizz, which is usually a pretty weak matchup for Kog'Maw because you just keep getting one shot. But I ended up going bone plating this game, and it seemed to pay off like heaps in the early game. So I just wanted to show off some clips here, even though the recording is kind of gone. Okay, so the goal here is basically I'm just trying to farm and slowly kind of poke him down like this, and I make sure to activate my corrupting to do a lot of extra damage here. I get a pretty decent trade-off here. Okay. And if we keep going a little bit, I'm just going to try to poke him down and shove this wave in. Okay. I ward. I step a little bit too close and he's able to dash onto me, so I have to flash and ghost here. So at this point, I'm just trying to go back. And so I just slowly push this wave out, and I'm gonna start recalling. But this Fizz actually decides that he's gonna stay, and I thought it would be a perfect recall, but as you can see here, he tries to one-shot me, and he probably would have if I didn't have bone plating here. Okay, so here I'm trying to play safe because it seems kind of suspicious that he's just freezing here. Like, I have never really seen him freeze before this, so it feels like someone's here. So I'm trying to play safe. I still get ulti. And if I didn't have bone plating here, I don't think I would have lived as long as I did, or lived long enough to get a double kill here. And this basically was like, I think, the game-winning play of this game, because I was able to just get super fed off of that. Okay, so here, I hit level 6. I'm just gonna try to keep poking him down here. You can see here, every single time he tries to CS, I'm just trying to poke him down. Okay. And eventually I get him like super low here, and he's like gonna have to flash. So like about here, I land an E on him, land a couple auto attacks, and he's forced to flash. And he thinks about going back, but I took a lot of damage from that turret shot. So he decides to come back and try to one-shot me. If I didn't have that bone plating, I definitely would not have survived this. Okay, and I just wanted to show a couple team fights to show like how Kog works. Shin gets caught out, and so we're now fighting really good. And as you can see here, the Fizz tries to go on me, but I'm just really strong and I dodged the ultimate. You can just see how much damage I'm doing here with my mana immune and my Luda. And yeah, it seems to be a pretty good combo. Okay, so if you want a more bursty build, something like what I did last video would probably be better. Like if you do something like Malignance into Man Immune into Shadow Flame, that is probably still a really strong build. One item that I would mention if you're really going for burst is Storm Surge. If you can reliably get that off on squishy targets, that's probably a really strong build. But otherwise, if you're going up against a lot of long-range champions like ADCs or mages, and like you have like a Teemo top or something, you might consider going a more like poke-heavy build, like this one, like Ludens into Man Immune, into Malignance, into something maybe like Rallies. I've been considering going Rallies a little bit earlier, like one of the comments mentioned, but I still feel like you need at least 2 damage items, so I haven't quite gotten there yet. Yeah, another item that I was considering against like assassins or not sure where else is Rod of Ages, because of the fact that it seems to have like really good stats. It gives you an extra level, which is really critical on Kog'Maw, because getting to level 16 means that your ultimates will be way off screen, and the healing will be like from Rod of Ages is actually pretty good, because every single time you spend mana, you'll heal HP, and then you'll be able to recover mana from how much damage you do, I think. Which are both also really good stats, and it also gives mana and AP, which both will really increase your damage, especially if you have like mana immune. But yeah, Rallies is probably a pretty good third item maybe, or fourth. I've been recently going fourth, but it might be better to go third. I'll probably have to try it out more to really say. But yeah, it's really unfortunate that the recording disappeared. So this is the best that I could do. And it's also really hard to show off like what you're doing on AP Kog'Maw. Because if you center it on yourself, and they actually, like, you can't actually see what I'm doing. Like, if I'm trying to land ults or anything, you won't be able to see it at all. So I kind of had to go with like a more manual camera and stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you next time, I guess.